All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the biggest MVP snubs in NBA history. So this is my own personal list of the following players I do believe are the biggest snubs in the MVP race in NBA history. So I have a few players on this list. Starting off with player number one, it would be Kobe Bryant's 2005-2006 regular season that I believe that Kobe Bryant was snubbed of winning the MVP award that year. But when you look at it, Kobe Bryant really was snubbed of winning the MVP award in the 2005-2006 NBA regular season. His play that he had with the Los Angeles Lakers that year was phenomenal, and it showed why he could still be one of the best players in the league despite the removing the three-peat years that him and Shaq had together. Kobe was on his own out there in LA and proved why he could be a phenomenal player with or without Shaq's help. He averaged 35 points per game, and fun fact, that was actually the highest average points per game since Michael Jordan did it with the Chicago Bulls in 1987. But Kobe Bryant that year, 2005-2006, he had some phenomenal performance. He had the 62-point performance that he had against the Dallas Mavericks, scoring 62 points in the first three quarters alone. Then he had the impressive 81-point performance game against the Toronto Raptors, and he led the Los Angeles Lakers team that really had no help to a 45-win season. It led them to the playoffs and a loaded Western Conference that year. But Kobe Bryant that year just overcame a lot of double team looks, triple team looks, and still scored the damn basketball. And he finished fourth in the MVP race somehow, some way. But it was Steve Nash that won the award that year. And if you go back and watch the interviews, it was Steve Nash that actually flat out said that Kobe Bryant should have won the MVP that year in 2005-2006. But Kobe Bryant, that when you look back at it in a dominant way, that was probably his most dominant performance, or most dominant year, I should say, in his NBA career, averaging 35 points per game and just having stellar performance after stellar performance after stellar performance. If that doesn't show you why he wasn't snubbed from the 2005-2006 and NBA MVP that year, that I don't know what does. But I think that year Kobe should have won the MVP award. Next would be Dwayne Wade in 2008-2009 regular season. Now, I truly believe that Dwayne Wade was robbed and snubbed of winning the MVP award in 2008-2009 because Dwayne Wade, a lot of people around the league that year believed that Dwayne Wade was starting to slow down, regress a little bit with some of the injuries that were starting to take a toll on his body. But Dwayne Wade still proved why he was one of the best players in the league, and that was his best NBA year of his career individually, because he had several 50-point performances out there in South Beach with the Miami Heat, several game-winning shots. He was effective on defense. He was a great two-way player that year and was clutch in clutch situations when the Miami Heat needed the clutch buckets out of Dwayne Wade. But Dwayne Wade that year led the Miami Heat to 43 wins that year in South Beach and really had zero All-Stars to play by his side out there. But that season, he scored a total of 2,000 points, had 500 assists, 150 steals, and 100 blocks all in one season, and ended up finishing third behind Kobe Bryant and LeBron James in the MVP race in 2008-2009. I know LeBron led the Cavs to 60-plus wins that year, but damn, Dwayne Wade was a special player, and that's not what scoring 2,000 points, 500 assists, 150 steals, and having 100 blocks in one season, and that doesn't mean you're not the MVP. That shows you, that just shows you alone how special the league was in MVP races, because I just mentioned LeBron was a part of that race, Kobe was a part of that race, Dwayne Wade was a part of that race, and the prime years of Dwight Howard that he had with the Orlando Magic. That was probably one of the most spectacular MVP races of all time that year in 2008-2009. Great MVP race, but I just fully believe that Dwayne Wade should have won the MVP that year. Oh man. Now, next one would be James Harden in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season. Now, this should have been a year that James Harden could have won back-to-back years, because prior to that, he won the 2017-2018 NBA regular season MVP, won the MVP award for that regular season that year. But James Harden, I just felt like he should have won it in 2018, 2019, because he was explosive as an offensive player. And his Houston Rockets days were truly special and helped him become one of the greatest shooting guards of all time. Top 5, no debating, of what James Harden did out there in H-Town for years and years. Because this year, James Harden in 2018, 2019, he averaged 36 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and should have won the MVP over Giannis that year. I know how special Giannis was as a two-way player, but James Harden was having some stellar performances that showed to me why he should have won the MVP that year. He was explosive offensively, scoring abilities were great, phenomenal. Step back threes were great, elite mid-range game, ability to draw fouls and get to the line. A foul Harden was a little foul merchant, but this man was playing outstanding basketball as an individual player. But I honestly feel like Giannis won the MVP that year based off of it being a popularity contest rather than the player who produced the most on the court. So I believe that James Harden should have won the MVP that year. Now I have one more player and then I have a conspiracy, but the final player that I'll mention will be Nikola Jokic for this year's 2024-25 regular season, because I love the fact that Nikola Jokic will be remembered one day as being snubbed for not winning the MVP this year in this regular season, because other than a popularity contest or the MVP voters giving SGA way more votes than Nikola Jokic, it was a blatant, clear robbery, because Nikola Jokic, the only thing that you could have said why he didn't win the MVP was the fact that SGA won the scoring title this year, averaging, I believe, 32 points per game, and the fact that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the Oklahoma City Thunder to having the number one seed in the Western Conference. But other than that, Nikola Jokic averaged 28 points per game, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, or 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and led top three in those respective categories. The first player to average a triple-double and lead top three in those respective categories in NBA history. So it just mind blows me that Nikola Jokic didn't win MVP this year. Plus, he was pretty effective shooting the ball, shot 57% from the field, and finished top 10 in three-point percentage that season. So I just feel like the Nuggets really are going to look back, and the league is going to look back and say that Nikola Jokic really should have won the MVP award this year over SGA. But the final conspiracy that I have for the MVP votes would be LeBron James. Do you guys find it strange that LeBron James only has a total of 4 MVP awards in his NBA career? Now, I'm not saying anything about the GOAT conversation. You guys can have it at the end of the day, however you guys have it. Bottom line, Michael Jordan and LeBron James are two best players to ever play the game of basketball. But I find it strange that LeBron James has not won one MVP award since the 2012-2013 NBA regular season. And he was already racking up a total of 4 MVPs that early in his NBA career. You mean to tell me LeBron James hasn't played well enough to get one more MVP? And the conspiracy I have is LeBron James has 4 MVPs. Michael Jordan has 5 MVPs. Is it the fact that the league didn't want to see LeBron James tie or get more MVPs than Michael Jordan himself? You could look at it, there was years that LeBron James was snubbed. Look at the 2013-14 NBA regular season. He had an identical, stat-wise, identical numbers to his 2012-2013 MVP year. And he averaged 27 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. But that year, the award went to Kevin Durant. Then when you look at what he did with a depleted Cleveland Cavaliers roster in the 2017-2018 year, I know James Harden was phenomenal, but LeBron James played a total of 82 games and averaged 27 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds, nearly averaging a triple-double with hardly any help on the Cleveland Cavaliers that year. I just felt like the league got tired of LeBron James dominating for so long that they decided to have the fans decide who the MVP was going to be and have LeBron James hold to that 4 MVPs, so he never tied MJ at 5 with MVPs or surpassed Michael Jordan. Because you guys cannot tell me that LeBron James, as great as he's been, has not been good enough to win an MVP since 2012, 2013. With the phenomenal basketball that he's played, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's why I said the GOAT conversation, you guys can have it anyway, different eras of basketball. And I know this version of LeBron James isn't even close to what we were getting back in the day, but he can still be effective. But how can he go nearly a decade of pure dominance and not win another MVP? That's just a conspiracy that I have. But those are my thoughts on the biggest NBA MVP snubs in league history.